I think the enterprise and custody use case is relatively new for Bitcoin, and there is room to improve the security and ease of use. Well, I think the Bitcoin has the capability to add new signature types, and there are quantum secure signature algorithms. Well, Switzerland is quite far ahead in regulations for Bitcoin-related use cases.
Adam Back is the CEO and co-founder of Blockstream, a pioneering company in Bitcoin and blockchain technology. He's widely regarded as a legend in the crypto world, known for inventing Hashcash, the precursor to Bitcoin's proof-of-work system.
Adam, could you please give us an overview of Blockstream?
Yeah, so Blockstream has been around since 2014. It's a Bitcoin infrastructure company. So we build all kinds of software and hardware and protocols. So hardware wallets, software wallets for consumers, protocols, so layer 2s like Lightning for retail payments, and Liquid for settlement and asset transfers, and HSMs, and then for enterprises and custodians as well, wallet technology.
And how has the institutional demand in infrastructure changed in the recent years?
Well, I think it's only more recently that you've had more interest from custodians and banks and enterprises in Bitcoin. First, some years were retail focused, so consumer hardware wallets, consumer software wallets, Lightning, and now that you're seeing more demand for layer 2s focused on asset issuance, tokenization, and Bitcoin in the enterprise.
Do you see any gap in that?
I think the enterprise and custody use case is relatively new for Bitcoin, and there is room to improve the security and ease of use and integrate into more of the enterprise software environment.
And if we project in 10 years, what will be the most important institutional adoptions of Bitcoin?
Well, I think so far you've seen a crossover with ETFs as the way that institutions have made Bitcoin available to end users, and some related financial instruments, but they're not really very deep integrations. They're just providing the financial access without the technology access. So I think it's interesting to have technology which lets the user get some assurances for the bearer asset while benefiting from bank-related services and financial-related services.
And what brings you to Switzerland? Why this region is so important for blockchain?
Well, Switzerland is quite far ahead in regulations for Bitcoin-related use cases. Many of the Swiss banks have provided or working on providing Bitcoin-related services, tokenization, and using the blockchain in their infrastructures.
And what was your speech about today?
Talking about actually infrastructure for Bitcoin. So having the rails to transact tokens and Bitcoin and collateralization and custody for custodians and enterprises.
How do you see quantum technology shaping the future of blockchain?
Well, I think the Bitcoin has the capability to add new signature types. It added Schnorr signature in 2021, and there are quantum secure signature algorithms. So I think it's the actual technology for quantum computers is still some time away, probably decades, in fact. And so there's time to optimize the post-quantum signature algorithms to integrate them into Bitcoin so people can be quantum ready and prepare for that sometime before it becomes a reality. I think there's still a lot of fundamental physics research before quantum computers become at scale enough to present a challenge for Bitcoin transaction security.
And where do you see Bitcoin in 5 years from now?
Well, I think it will see more adoption, and in the past, people would have been surprised that many banks were interested in Bitcoin. That sort of happened faster than people thought. So I think we may see more of the same with more sovereigns and nation states doing things with Bitcoin, whether that's a Bitcoin reserve, and there's some initiative in Switzerland to try to bring about a referendum to bring back gold as a reserve, but also bring back Bitcoin, well, add Bitcoin to that reserve. So we may see more sovereign adoption and just continuing adoption. Now, we shouldn't forget that for the average person, they're not managing their own portfolio. So for them, adoption may mean a pension fund buying or a mutual fund that they have their savings in. So I think, the next wave of adoption may be indirect via asset management, in fact.